Fleetwood Mac songs don't heal bones, but singing is the only balm I have on hand as I tend to Nova's latest wound. A broken wrist this time. Fury surges through me along with the old planet song about going your own way. I'm doing the best I can with what I have on hand, but I need more than bark bandages and sticks to set it right. Too bad my brother, Dan, put a moratorium on visits to the settlement doctor after the old man tried to ask Nova's daughter, Glee, too many questions about her mother's latest fall. Dan's escalating. I note darkly as I sing one last chorus of Go Your Own Way and finish wrapping my passed-out sister-in-law's wrist in the bark bandage. I pounded and cut these bandages myself after Dan declared Nova couldn't go to the doctor anymore, and on my many trips out to the redwoods, I'd been purposefully picking a weed. Us settlers referred to as Tehran Tylenol because of its analgesic properties. I'd also started tapping the trees and collecting other plants that can only be found there to make essential oils. So far, I'd been successfully using my hodgepodge medical kit to promote healing and prevent infection. But Nova is going to need more than ground-up Tylenol when she wakes up. Zinnia, it's broken, isn't it? I raise my gaze to find Nova's head half lifted, her tawny brown face drawn tight with the pain of waking up, bruised and beaten. There are no tears in her eyes, though. She never cries anymore, no matter how badly Dan beats her. I'm not even sure she knows how, after a life filled with so much sorrow and pain. I nod in answer to her question as she sighs, laying her head back on her thin pillow. Moans, it hurts. Always thought he'd break a rib first. Guess I was wrong, she says with a wry chuckle. She's laughing at her pain, but all I want to do is scream. I wish I could do more than set her wrist with makeshift bandages and sticks. I wish I could tell her to leave my brother, to take Glee with her and never look back. But I know that's impossible. Where would she go? Maybe before my parents' deaths in the Great Storm, she could have gotten away. But my half-brother is too powerful now that he's inherited our father's spot on the board of settlement leaders. I'd hoped his newly bestowed position would instill responsibility and a sense of duty. Instead, he's been steadily abusing his power to become an even bigger asshole. He'd already threatened me earlier today when I'd come home to eat my midday rations. After finding Nova unconscious and broken on our red dirt floor, I'd told him I was taking his girlfriend and her daughter to live with my best friend Kira and her parents. He'd just sneered and laughed. Let's see what happens if you try to take her out of this house. You think I don't have a say in who gets what rations? I'll let that Kira bitch and her parents starve to death if you try to get between me and my woman. And I don't care what the Xals are planning to do with all those swirly girls when they come of breeding age. I'll make sure that hybrid of Nova's gets gone, too. You got my fucking promise about that. Thanks to our differently colored mothers, Dan's skin is a much paler brown than my own near black. But though his face was flushed with red with all the alcohol he'd consumed that morning while I worked in the fields, his threats came across chilling and unslurred. All I could do was glare at him, uselessly. Dan knew I was powerless to truly fight back. He'd just spat and left, slamming the house's wooden door behind and leaving his crippled half-sister to tend to the woman he'd beaten senseless. So no, I'm not going to try to convince Nova to leave him. But this can't go on. I have to figure out how to get her and Glee away from my brother. Mama! Aunt Z! Guess what happened at Colony School today? I turn, and Nova puts in the effort to sit up on her good arm when Glee bursts into the house, her usual ball of swirled emerald green and tawny brown energy. Teacher said ruchis are vegetables, and I said, no, Aunt Z says it's a fruit because it's got seeds, and Aunt Z says vegetables with seeds are fruits, even if they taste yucky like vegetables. And teacher said, no, that's not right, and I said, it is. Aunt Z's smarter than you, and she reads all the books you don't. And teacher got mad at me and said I have to come home early. But it's true, right?